Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up over the next 30 minutes. India is to host the world's biggest AI summit next month. Over 100 CEOs to participate, says Union Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Palestinian counterpart Agha Kiya discussed development cooperation, Gaza peace plan ahead of the second India-Arab Foreign Ministers meet in New Delhi. The Kremlin says Russian President Vladimir Putin agrees to halt strikes on Kyiv until the 1st of February after a request from US President Donald Trump. And Carlos Alcaraz battles past Alexander Zverev in 5 grueling sets into his first Australian Open final. The world number 1 is now just 1 win short of becoming the youngest male to complete a career Grand Slam. First up, India is hosting the biggest ever AI summit next month. The India AI Impact Summit will be attended by 15 heads of state or government. Representatives of over 100 companies will also be participating in this mega summit. India's Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav launched Impact Agenda Leadership Reflections. The compendium has been collated with reflections from over 60 leading industry experts on their vision for the future of AI and its role in driving inclusive growth, innovation and societal impact. The minister said that the summit has got a phenomenal response.
The summit has got phenomenal response. This is going to be the 4th and the biggest AI summit so far in the entire world. The response from practically 100 countries, the number of heads of state and government, already 15 confirmations received, and the industry has responded so well. More than 100 CEOs are joining us in the Impact Summit.
The minister also said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with AI developers and infrastructure builders on Thursday, who shared that over 200 focused AI models have been developed to address sector-specific challenges.
Very recently, Honorable Prime Minister interacted with the people who are developing the models, the people who are developing the applications, and the people who are setting up the infra. When they met Honorable Prime Minister, they shared that they have developed more than 200 models so far, which are very focused, very small, and totally oriented towards solving the problems of one particular sector. The real value will come from the deployment of AI, getting those productivity gains, getting those efficiency gains.
Speaking to the media on the subject of artificial intelligence and developed India, the minister also said that AI will play a key role across all sectors and will be central to India's journey towards becoming a developed nation.
हमारे जीवन के हर एस्पेक्ट में एआई का उपयोग होने वाला है, चाहे हेल्थ केयर हो, चाहे नए मटेरियल्स की डिस्कवरी हो, चाहे प्लानिंग, अर्बन प्लानिंग हो, चाहे अर्बन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन हो, हर एक क्षेत्र में एआई का उपयोग होने वाला है और आने वाले समय में विकसित भारत की जो जर्नी है उसमें एआई का बहुत बड़ा रोल होगा.
India is steadily expanding its global outreach in the field of artificial intelligence, positioning itself as a key voice in shaping the future of emerging technologies, particularly in the global south. In Johannesburg, South Africa, the Consulate General of India, together with the India Business Forum, convened a pre-summit engagement focused on enhancing international cooperation in AI, reflecting India's expanding diplomatic and technological engagement.
India's vision to play a leading role in the global artificial intelligence ecosystem is gaining momentum across continents.
India's approach has consistently focused on democratizing access to technology while using it as an engine for growth and inclusion. The emergence of AI is the latest chapter in this long journey.
In Johannesburg, the Consulate General of India hosted a pre-summit engagement aimed at strengthening international cooperation in the AI sector as part of India's broader diplomatic and technological outreach.
And this collaboration is very important because if you were to look on the current geopolitics, it's important that the like-minded countries, they start collaborating with each other. And especially when you look on the areas of AI, I think it is becoming very much important. And if you look deeply on AI, the issues of language models, the issues of countering, the bias, that has been, one of the areas that, the Global South has actually struggled with. So I think it's very important that we have that type of collaboration.
The initiative reflects India's vision of responsible, inclusive and impact-driven artificial intelligence with a strong emphasis on global collaboration, skills development and equitable access to technology.
India has adopted multi-language LLM developments. So they have created 8 categories in 8 regions, right, to adopt language learning models and probably 8 sectors to do it. The adoption of AI through such excessive creation of LLM models for greater adoption is what South Africa needs to also start looking into.
Are right that there are certain jobs that cannot be replaced by AI, and we need to have an appreciation of that.
India's outreach places particular focus on partnerships with the Global South, recognizing the role artificial intelligence can play in driving sustainable growth, innovation, and social development.
So the understanding of the African local nuances of our industry makes a huge difference instead of just trying to roll out technology for the sake of technology. We want to see the benefits of this flowing into communities, into schools, at grassroots levels. We want to see that there's skills development enhancements and training that takes place to improve economic outcomes for the poorest of the poor.
Stakeholders were briefed on the India AI Impact Summit 2026 to be held in Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi this February, bringing together governments, industry and innovators to advance real-world AI solutions for sustainable development.
So India is organizing an AI Impact Summit in Delhi next month. And India is basically focusing on not only technology, but on the impact of artificial intelligence in terms of its impact on livelihood, on skilling, on inclusion and equity and development. So in terms of development of AI in India, we are basically following every value chain, like from chips to digital technologies to development, infrastructure to human capital. So I think that this is the one aspect which differs in terms when you compare with other countries.
For DD India in Johannesburg, South Africa, I'm Nazneen, for People, for Planet and for Progress.
India will host the second India-Arab Foreign Ministers meeting in New Delhi on Saturday. The meeting will be co-chaired by India and the UAE. Foreign ministers of other Arab League member states and Arab League Secretary General will be participating in the second India-Arab Foreign Ministers meeting. Now, in the run-up to the India-Arab Foreign Ministers meeting, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Gheit in New Delhi on Friday. The discussions focused on strengthening cooperation across sectors, regional developments and building upon the decade-old India-Arab partnership. The minister also met Comoros counterpart Bey Mohammed with talks centered on cooperation in health, sports, infrastructure and capacity building. Dr. Jaishankar also held talks with Palestine's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates, Warsan Agbekian Shaheen. Both the leaders exchanged views on the Gaza peace plan and regional developments. And the External Affairs Minister also met with the Foreign Minister of Sudan, Mohildeen Salim Ahmed Ibrahim. Dr. Jaishankar reiterated India's position for an end to violence in Sudan and return to dialogue. And Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has addressed the World Forum of Accountants organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in Greater Noida on Friday. The 3-day global event from the 30th of this month to the 1st of February celebrates the chartered accountancy profession's evolution from nation building to global collaboration. As a proud chartered accountant, the Union Minister expressed confidence in India's robust position amid global volatility. He also highlighted India's strong macroeconomics and emergence as one of the world's largest economies, adding that India is on track to become the third largest economy, far ahead of earlier projections, crediting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's reforms.
Amidst all these difficult, uncertain times, India stands as an oasis in a desert. We stand tall as a country with strong macroeconomic fundamentals. We are the fastest growing large economy in the world. We continue to post high growth rates with abysmally low inflation. We have a robust banking system, strong foreign currency reserves.
Now, as the situation in West Asia remains tense, Iran says it will respond immediately and decisively to any aggression. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has told the United Arab Emirates President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and according to the state media's report, Pezeshkian said that Iran welcomed dialogue and did not seek war. Earlier, US President Donald Trump had said that he hoped to avoid military action against Iran, which has threatened to strike American bases and aircraft carriers in response to any attack. Trump said he is speaking with Iran and left open the possibility of avoiding a military operation after earlier warning time was running out for Tehran as the United States sends a large naval fleet to the region. And the latest is that the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has met with his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan on Friday as tensions between Tehran and Washington have been escalating. Trump had said on Thursday he plans to speak with Iran even as the US dispatched another warship to the West Asian region, with the Pentagon chief saying the military stood ready to carry out whatever the president decides. Tehran responded with a warning to strike back against the US, Israel as well as those who support them. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan told his Iranian counterpart Masoud Pezeshkian in a call on Friday that Turkey was ready to play a facilitator's role between Iran and the United States to ease tensions between the two sides. Now, Syria's government and Kurdish forces have struck a landmark agreement to give large swathes of Arab-majority territory to government forces, signaling a major shift on the ground. It aims to unify Syrian territory through a phased integration of Kurdish forces and administrative bodies. Under the deal, frontline forces will pull back, while only Interior Ministry units will enter the cities of Hasakeh and Qamishli. The agreement reportedly accommodates key Kurdish demands, including the absorption of 3 SDF brigades into the Syrian army. And the Kremlin said on Friday that Russian President Vladimir Putin has received a personal appeal from his US counterpart Donald Trump to halt strikes in Kyiv till the 1st of February in order to create a favorable environment for peace negotiations. Ukraine has said it will reciprocate if Russia forgoes strikes on the country's energy infrastructure amid a period of bitterly cold weather. The next round of trilateral peace talks between Russia, Ukraine and the United States are set to take place in Abu Dhabi on Sunday.
President Trump has indeed personally asked President Putin to refrain from attacking Kyiv for a week until February 1st in order to create favorable conditions for negotiations.
And Donald Trump has named Kevin Walsh to succeed Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair, ending a 5-month odyssey which has seen unprecedented turmoil around the central bank. The decision culminates a process that officially began last summer but started much earlier than that, with Trump launching a fusillade of criticism against the Powell-led Fed almost since Powell took the job in 2018. Myanmar's military-backed party has completed a sweeping victory in the country's 3-phase general election, cementing an outcome long expected after a tightly controlled political process which was held during civil war and widespread repression. According to state media, the Union and Solidarity Party dominated all phases of the voting, winning an overwhelming majority in Myanmar's 2 legislative chambers. It secured 232 of the 263 seats up for grabs in the lower house and 109 of the 157 seats announced so far in the upper chamber, according to results released on Thursday and Friday. Myanmar's parliament is expected to convene in March to elect a president, with a new government set to take over in April. Pro-military 11 Media Group has reported earlier this month, citing junta spokesperson Zaw Min Tun. The U.S. Embassy in Bangladesh has issued a security advisory ahead of the country's parliamentary elections and national referendum on the 12th of February. The embassy warned of possible political violence or extremist attacks during the polls, urging U.S. citizens to avoid rallies, large gatherings and remain vigilant. It highlighted government transport bans on the 11th and 12th of next month and said embassy services will be limited on these days. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. India reaffirms its leadership in the global energy landscape at the closing ceremony of India Energy Week 2026 in Goa. And a special report from what was once the hotbed of left-wing extremism or Naxalism in India, where it's breathing its last.
Today, we try to answer a key question. Is there a cleaner, affordable and eco-friendly way to travel?
Air quality has deteriorated significantly over the past 10 years. The reason? The increase in road traffic.
The train is powered by green hydrogen, a renewable fuel that promises to reduce climate-damaging CO2 emissions, so that green hydrogen becomes a real alternative to fossil fuels. Both countries have a joint green hydrogen roadmap to increase production and reduce the reliance on fossil fuels.
I think there should be a lot more built-out pavements with green space in it. This road is extremely long and is lovely for walking and cycling, but there's nowhere to sit.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. India has underlined its readiness to navigate global energy volatility at the closing ceremony of the India Energy Week 2026 in Goa. Union Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri highlighted India's resilient energy strategy to ensuring energy security, affordability and sustainability amid geopolitical uncertainties. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya with this report.
India has reaffirmed its leadership in the global energy landscape at the closing ceremony of India Energy Week 2026 in Goa. Union Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said India remains well prepared to navigate sustained geopolitical volatility anchored by diversification, resilience, and a decisive transition towards cleaner fuels. Highlighting India's rising stature, the minister noted that India is now the world's third largest energy consumer and fourth largest refiner, committed to ensuring energy availability, affordability, and sustainability.
We are very well equipped. We are the third largest consumer, fourth largest refiner, fifth largest exporter. In the coming years, from now to 2027, 28, 2030, India will continue to occupy center stage in the global discourse, and I think we're very well equipped both in terms of ensuring availability, affordability, of course, it depends, and ultimately the sustainability which is a really great story.
Petroleum Secretary Dr. Neeraj Mittal outlined the roadmap to support India's robust economic growth, stressing domestic exploration, energy self-reliance, digitalization, and AI-driven efficiencies across energy value chain.
If you look at our growth rates, we are growing at about 7.5%, 8%. Projected growth is somewhere around upwards of 7%, twice that of the world average. Our energy requirements are going to grow. I think there are two pillars where really I would classify, the priorities of the government. First is to strengthen our domestic E&P activities. The second pillar is using technology. how do we make our operations efficient? How do we improve our logistics? How do we have multiple companies, put them together and save money for the country?
The final day also celebrated innovation with awards recognizing excellence across startups, academia, and industry. India Energy Week 2026 concluded by reinforcing India's role as a steady, credible, and future ready global energy leader. Tapas Bhattacharya's report, DD India.
Now, India is paying homage to Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, on his 78th death anniversary, which is also known as Martyrs' Day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the interfaith prayer meeting this evening at Gandhi Smriti in New Delhi. A 2-minute silence was observed to mark the solemn occasion. Naxalism, or left-wing extremism, which gripped Bastar in Chhattisgarh for over 4 decades, is now on the verge of becoming history. Once known for violence, landmines and gunfire, Bastar is today scripting a new identity of peace, trust and development. DD India's Somesh Patel has filed a special report from that district. Take a look.
Over the past 5 years, precise strategies by security forces, sustained operations, and a strengthened intelligence network have delivered a major blow to the Naxal network. Hundreds of Naxals have surrendered and returned to the mainstream, while dozens of hardcore cadres were neutralized in encounters. As a result, the backbone of the Naxal organization has been nearly broken. More than 15 new security camps have been established across the Bastar division. This has severely restricted Naxal movement and weakened their hold over the forest areas. Safe havens for Naxals are shrinking rapidly. Not just the gun. Development has emerged as the most powerful weapon against Naxalism. Thousands of kilometers of roads have been built in remote and inaccessible areas. Direct access to education, employment, and government welfare schemes has restored public trust. Youth who were once misled into joining Naxal organizations are now choosing a dignified life under the surrender policy. The government's rehabilitation framework sends a clear message: choose the future, not violence. Naxalism in Bastar and across Chhattisgarh has entered its final phase, and the state is moving toward an era of unprecedented peace. The central government has resolved to completely eliminate Naxalism from the country by 31st of March 2026. Ground realities in Bastar clearly indicate that this goal is no longer just an announcement, but fast becoming a reality. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stated that in Bastar and other Naxal-affected regions, the government has focused on development alongside security. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that by 31st of March 2026, the country will be free from Naxalism. Red terror had spread like a venomous snake, stalling Bastar's development and affecting the entire state. Now, the priority is to establish lasting peace in Bastar. Bastar is no longer a symbol of fear. It is now writing a new story of transformation, trust, and development.
In Bastar, a critical campaign against Naxalism is underway through coordinate effects of the central and state government, through secretary deployment and good governance. The target is to ensure the complete elimination of Naxalism from by 31 March 2026. Somesh Patel, DD India, Chhattisgarh.
Let's now turn to sports, where world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz has battled an injury scare to overcome Alexander Zverev in a rollercoaster 5-set thriller to enter his maiden Australian Open final. The Spaniard edged out the world number 3 in a marathon that lasted 5 hours and 27 minutes, the longest semi-final in tournament history. After appearing to recover from a leg injury that hampered him from late in the third set, the Spaniard rallied from 3-5 in the decider to seal his first final appearance in Melbourne. With his victory, Alcaraz has moved within one win of becoming the youngest man to complete a career Grand Slam. Standing between Alcaraz and that piece of history will be the winner of a heavyweight showdown between defending champion Jannik Sinner and 10-time Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic, which is ongoing, and that is again turning out to be a bit of a seesaw battle. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen to download the app right away. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.